You might remember Susanna Gibson. She made a few headlines a couple of months back during election season. I understand it's not like a midterm or a primary election year, but in certain states, they hold different state races and all that type. And, well, Virginia is one of said states. But like I said, you might remember that face. Well, not normally that clear without, certain liquids on it. But she ended up making headlines for some of her extracurricular activities in the lead up to her specific state house election race. And running as a Democrat, I thought that would be degenerate in and of itself, but no. She decided to pursue the whole Jack Murphy career path prior to entering politics. Not unto dissimilar from what Jack was doing, but her online sex life was exposed. Was it exposed? Or was that just simply what she did behind a paywall? She lost her election. Now she's speaking out. Are you having a laugh? Are you seriously having a laugh? Virginia Democrat featured and streamed as sex acts online says that she was the victim. My entire life was rocked. Oh my God, just me and my husband, me and my life partner were just playing innocent games of see what could fit inside each other's mouth. And well, my entire life was destroyed. Wow, imagine that. Actions have consequences. And going into the future, this is the first of many such instances of what we can expect going into the future. Chicks seeking a political redemption path after their better days are behind them, just seeking solace either through the Lord. How many born-again virgins are we currently seeing right now? Oh, don't worry, guys. Black China and Kat Von D, it's totally legit that they have found the Lord and trying to, pray away the dicks of harlots past, and they've found real purpose in life. Or you can just have a chick do a complete career turn, and instead of getting dick down for $29.99 a month, well, now they can just go do it for, several $100,000. And at least nobody else has to see them. A Virginia Democrat who is featured in more than a dozen video streams of her and her husband having sex online. Remember, that was exposed. She had a profile online. Thousands of people were subbed to her Chatterbait account. Like, what are we doing here? For tips is speaking out, claiming to be the victim of an invasion of privacy by Republican operatives. Let me just refresh your memory. Okay, Susanna Gibson had a public Chatterbait account. She was busting it wide open on the internet. She was the victim. She was the victim in this one, guys. How long before she eventually turns on her husband and says that I was being trafficked. I didn't want to do any of this stuff. In a recent interview with Politico, which again you can go ahead and read if you like, but I like the more salacious stylings of this article. Former Virginia House delegate candidate Susanna Gibson spoke out about how she felt about the explicit video surfacing ahead of her election loss earlier this year. It is a feeling that I would not wish on my worst enemy. Yeah, exactly. Having consequences for your actions. Yeah, it really must suck. It's almost like, hey, if there's something that you can do in order to prevent this type of embarrassment, maybe you should go ahead and tell younger women that. But no. Responsibility? I'm still a woman after all. Gibson made waves in September after archived live stream videos. No. They were still very much out there. Okay. Of her having sex with her husband resurfaced and circulated online. The Washington Post broke the story, which is odd, reporting that the couple solicited payments from viewers in exchange for specific acts. 69 for 69. You know what? That is a 2-year-old reference at this point in time, just about to the day. Wow. Time flies when you're laughing at cucks. The Post headline, the story, Democratic House candidate performed sex acts online with husband for tips. Gibson and her husband were featured in more than a dozen what? Just say Chatterbait. That's where everything was going down. Come on now. They were archived on a site called, there it is. Okay, Chatterbait in September of 2022. So yeah, after Jack made it so popular. But his stuff was like Actually, I guess it's still out there for public consumption if you're so into that stuff. I guess if you're one of those young college boys that he just has fantasies about. But that's alright, guys. Jack is a reformed man, just like Susanna is, okay? He shaved off the cuck beard, even though now in perpetuity everybody has it saved under a PNG, myself included. As you can probably tell by the thumbnail. He can be clean shaven until the end of time. Somebody's just always going to put that beard back on his face. It just naturally grows like that, guys. Sure it does, cuck. Yes, which is after she officially entered the race for delegate. Oof. And most recent videos were archived on September 30th, 2022. Once news broke and Republican operatives shared the story ahead of Election Day, Gibson insisted that she was the victim of an illegal invasion of my privacy designed to humiliate me and my family. Why did you fuck on camera? If you were worried about the safety and privacy of your family, why are you being photographed with your chin and your ankles in the same frame? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? She continued to stay in the race until she lost, but early reporting actually had this hoe out front, which is so wild to think about, but thank God she ended up losing. We can go ahead and at least hold on to what remains of society for a little bit longer. But yeah, there you go. You could have I think that, Hot Wife Experience? Yeah, Hot Wife Experience. Was that the name of her account? I think it was. But yeah, that's slang for people in that type of lifestyle. For her to go fuck other guys for the specific singular pleasure of her husband, sat in a chair in the corner of the room that the other two participants are engaging in. Long story short, gross. Longer story short, gross. In a recent interview with Politico, Gibson maintained that she was the victim of a media hit job and a legal distribution scheme of the video. It's on the website, okay? The fuck are you talking about? It's got a timestamp and everything. Mentioning the Post story from September, she said, "My entire life was rocked on September." Oh, yo, that one hit. Okay. Listen, bitch. Oh. If you're gonna try to make a day your own personal tragedy, don't try to make it September 11th. Oh. I understand you have no self-awareness, and your inability to accept responsibility for your actions is already legendary enough, but trying to say that you had your own personal 9/11 on the day, that's a lot. That's a lot. Holy. Tell me you have no guidance in your life without telling me you don't have any guidance in your life. Oh, when the article ran, it ran implying that I performed sex acts online with my husband for money. It was really written based on this Dropbox file that self-described Republican operatives shopped around. Yeah, it was a link that was passed around. Hey, you know that bitch that you're running against? Yeah, she was fucking online. So if you want to go ahead and, use that, fucking go for it, man. Ain't nobody else. Kind of got goofy nipples. One points this way, the other points that way, and they both can't meet together and go, all right, what are we doing here? Gibson spoke to Politico about feeling blindsided. Is that one of the moves he performed on you? They had found these videos on the dark web and shopped them around various news outlets. Chatterbait, while I don't use it in porns for losers, including those who make it, even I know that's like a mainstream site. But okay, you keep telling yourself this story. Eventually you'll believe it. I didn't have any idea that that they were even videos of me and had been made and uploaded to multiple sites. I didn't even know that was the case. Sure, you can believe me, right? Even though I have no movement above my eyebrows. It's kind of weird because she has the same expression, when she's getting reamed out as she is while she's, trying to spin a tail. Gibson added, "When you found out there were sexually explicit videos of you online, especially by being contacted by national reporters, is a feeling that I would not wish on my worst enemy." As far as her claims of the videos being spread illegally, she said, "A content that is initially made in a consensual context and then distributed in a non-contextual context digitally is a crime. If you don't believe me, you can also ask another expert, Nina Agdal." Speaking of her actions versus Republicans spreading info about her explicit content, she opined. Choosing to share content online or in whatever medium with select people with the understanding that it will disappear and can only be seen at the present at the time when we're taking a live stream, webcamming, and Skype. Wow, you seem to know an awful lot about this illegal material that was circulated in the dark web. Either you have access to that stuff or you're not exactly keeping it 100 when it comes to describing your previous actions. That is a far cry from consenting from what the content to be recorded and then broadly disseminated. No. I know right now, even if I delete this video right now, anybody can possibly record it, download it, and do whatever the fuck they want with it. And frankly, I'm not going to come after you. I'm not going to strike you. Any of the videos that I do, it's totally open source and anything like that. I go ahead, and the moment that I post something online, I forfeit my right to anonymity behind it. Okay, that's why I've got to go ahead and clarify my stances, make obvious jokes where I'm making obvious jokes, even though the YouTube censors have a zero sense of humor. I've got to go ahead and pick and choose my topics, delivery, and tonality appropriately. But because, well, she's got a pair of tits, she thinks that she's immune from any sort of responsibility to her actions because nobody has ever told her no in her life. She also told the outlet, I think what people do in their private lives digitally is, if it is legal, it is consensual and has no bearing on their ability to do their jobs. I think that there should be a barrier. I think that it is unethical to make people's private lives, especially their sexual private lives, public and part of how we think about them and their ability to do their jobs and make positive contributions to their communities. This is a soft way in order to try to, forgive the sins of Dixmas past for a bunch of other hoes that are going to be entering the workforce. Okay, you can see where everything's working here. What they do in private, digitally, publicly, sort of, kind of. But if they just go ahead and retroactively withdraw consent on it by just simply saying that they're a victim towards all of this stuff, we should just go ahead and forgive all of their whole proclivities. Right? Come on, guys. We can go ahead and do this. This will be great. So the next time that I run on this platform, being a victim, I can go ahead and secure my election. Gibson also warned that other women will soon be victims of the same sort of scrutiny. I had no idea that this was going to be in here. I was just simply alluding to the obvious conclusion to this stuff. Like, what else do we expect? She is saying, I think this is going to continue to happen as millennials age into running for office. Exactly. But are you going to be affording that sort of discretion to any guys who are going ahead and posting spicy things online? Absolutely not. I'm not even talking about illicit pictures or anything like that, but just, I don't know, simply wanting to shitpost about certain topics or anything like that. No. That's probably actual calls to violence, but you getting spanked because horny stroker 420 out there decided to drop 100 coins on your chat, okay? That's something that we can just go ahead and vehemently denounce, right? There was a 2014 study conducted by McAfee, who didn't kill himself, that said or showed that 90% of millennial women have taken nude photos at some point. Yes, exactly. And if any of those end up getting leaked that weren't published to OnlyFans, oh, then you got a problem, okay? Because that is private communicado between a man and a woman, and you have a certain right to privacy assumed between that communication. But when you elicit the services of online websites specifically designed to broadcast those type of activities, you forfeit that right to privacy. You forfeit that expectation that you're going to be protected from your own stupid actions. For as many times as you've heard stupid ass Democrats say, ugh, guys, it's called freedom of speech, not freedom of consequences. Well, you can just go ahead and throw it back in this dumb bitch's face, and we all know that she's had quite a bit of shit thrown in her face. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.